Yeah, sick. So to start, I'll kind of start with an open question for the two of you. The first question is, I guess, is to give a little bit of background about yourself, and then how did you get into crypto?
Yeah, I started out as just like a low level business analyst that helped out our company's finance department in like early 2020. You know, I was kind of caught in the middle of a pretty bad audit. I mean, it wasn't bad. There was no crime being committed, but I realized pretty quickly that our accounting department kind of sucked. Um, so I spent like weeks trying to help my manager out, researching accounting solutions. And eventually, as one tends to do, I stumbled across an article about Bitcoin as a triple ledger accounting system or a triple entry accounting system. And I'm like the kind of person that, once I start learning something, I try to be as thorough as possible. And quickly, in seeing the benefits of Bitcoin as an accounting solution, and keep in mind this was 2020, so I basically started off a noob at the beginning of 2020, and within 6 months, um, I was already pretty proficient in Solidity. I was training to become an Ethereum security engineer. I was a Kernel OX fellow. I was beginning to start up Byte Masons, which is now a 30-person engineering firm. And in early 2021, we started the Reaper.farm application. Went up to 300 mil TVL, then retail left us in the dust. So all bear market. All of our engineers, which I think we have probably the best engineering team in the space. We're working on 5 projects in parallel right now, and all of them tie together really beautifully. We've been building Granary, we've been building Ethos Reserve, we've been building uh, Digit.xyz, our new yield primitive that just entered open beta. And really, like, we're just trying to go ham and fix a lot of problems in crypto, and in DeFi, and make it sustainable and as competitive with TradFi as possible. And we won't stop until it is. So I guess that's a good long and short.
And then
Nice.
then Beavis took kind of a direct path in, and I was a much more I was an even weirder story than Beavis. I've actually been I started farming Bitcoin and Litecoin in like 2013. I'd already looked into
Oh wow.
I'd already looked into Bitcoin in like 2011, 2012, but I was like, oh, this shit isn't going to do anything. And then so ended up selling like several hundred thousand Litecoin at like 10 cents. So that was the first of many. That was the first of many generational wealth stories being faded. Um, but went full time in the space as far as like modding and everything about 2019 in BSC, and then in 2021 I got like someone to say like the big break or whatever, and I was day one not only investing but also working for DeFi Kingdoms. I very much helped that blow up to astronomical proportions. I had issues with kind of I had issues with a few things within the project, and ended up leaving them. Ended up working for the L1 that it was on, and I've worked for as like a mercenary. I've worked for other L1s, other L2s, other things. But I only have like a couple of babies like projects that I'm like founder or like instrumental in, and one of those is Granary, which is the first thing that I ever really like was like, hey, we could do this thing better. And that was basically looking at a lot of the lending protocols with tokens back then, that were supposed to
Mhm.
reward their users. And I was like, oh yeah, we could do that, but like with morals. And so that's the origin of the Granary, is like, let's do that, but let's make it actually like worth a public good. sort of thing, and that's where, getting help from honest and wholesome developers like Beavis and his crew was pretty critical.
Right. Okay. So yeah, so it sounds like you both were pretty early to crypto.